What's going on, you guys? It's the Beagle coming at you with the video for today, talking about a new segment I'm going to put on my channel called 5 Things. Last week I did a video on 5 things I like to see changed in WWE. So sit back, relax, and don't forget to let me know in the descriptions if you do, or in the comments if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Let's have a discussion about it. This is 5 things wrong with WWE's current product. So the number 5 thing that I think is currently wrong with the product is this whole Sasha and Bayley, and I harped on in the last video I made about them, but seeing them have to go through quote-unquote counseling to settle their problems when guys like Lashley and Reigns, Strowman, and KO get to fight their problems out in the ring. I'm sorry. It's not, I wouldn't say it's not fair. It's just, it's not exciting. It doesn't get you involved. I didn't find it funny on Monday. Until Raw and SmackDown get more exciting to me, I'm not going to be doing reviews of them. I feel my better time would be better on focusing on this and the upcoming NFL season. So, until they get better, I don't think I'll be doing many reviews on them. There's still plenty of other people you can go check out. Cultaholic.com, Steven Larson, Wrestle Talk TV. There's a lot of those guys out there you can, click on to watch. They do every wrestling, even New Japan, PWG, a lot of independent wrestling, and of course, mainly WWE. Let's get back to the topic at hand, is the Sasha and Bayley situation. And that I feel that I don't understand why they have to go to counseling. They're building up. Extreme Rules would have been a really good place for them to have a match. I mean, they put on a good match anywhere at any time. But if they put on a match at Extreme Rules, maybe Bayley can get a little bit of revenge, I believe, against Alexa Bliss. And the whole, I can't hit her with the kendo stick because I'm a babyface and all this other stuff, causing her to lose that match. And I think Extreme Rules would be a perfect place for her to kind of get that back a little bit, and actually pick up a win, which I think she definitely needs. Sasha's pretty much been dominating the feud. Like I said in the last video, I almost erupted when I finally seen Bayley snap and actually show a little bit of a mean streak and finally getting a monicum of revenge on Sasha. But making them go with the counseling, and having us watch that obnoxious, boring, repetitive, unfunny, just basic, writing, while we can see, what Kevin Owens and, Braun Strowman have been doing. Comedic gold, even though Braun is, the good guy, and this is actually kind of like a heelish dick at most times. Especially last Monday, him pushing on stage on the port of that, which I thought was actually a pretty good spot. And then Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns, fighting for no reason, but them four are allowed to settle in the ring at Extreme Rules. Whereas we again are so not digging the. Everybody I've listened to and everybody I've talked to, they told me that they don't really care for the comedy sketches because, let's face it, a lot of WWE's comedy is not really that funny to begin with. I know ultimately it comes down to Vince's word on what he thinks is funny, what he don't think is funny, but if any NXT is any indication of how Triple H is going to run things when Vince retires, God, I can't wait for the date for Vince to retire. I wish he would just go to the side, focus on the XFL, which I will make a separate video about that later. I'm getting very excited. I'm a huge football fan, but I'm getting off track here. And let Triple H run Raw and SmackDown the way he runs NXT. If you guys don't watch the NXT product, really should check it out. Invest in storylines, great characters. Velveteen Dream he's dripping with charisma. He could be one of the top tier guys when they finally move him up to the main roster. I think he'll go to SmackDown when he does move. I don't think they're going to push him as big. But then again, I'm also nervous too because a lot of people come out of NXT like Bruce, or not Rusev, but actually Rusev I believe did come out of NXT, but mostly the biggest one, Shinsuke Nakamura. I'll talk about it in my predictions video a little bit more, but this Sunday I think this is his, do something or step aside because they've ruined him. I'd rather go watch independent shows with him wrestling Kevin Owens than I would anything in the WWE. Some think that him and AJ is getting better in quality. But I'm tired of seeing them two wrestle. I'm looking forward to their match, him and Jeff's match Sunday. Back to this, to make again. To do this to Sasha and Bayley, we'd rather see them wrestle because they can put on damn good matches. I mean, damn good matches. Just watch. I mean, a lot of people. I loved the women's Hell in a Cell. I loved the Money in the Bank ladder match. They were two really good matches in my opinion. Let them fight it out. That's what wrestling was. We don't watch it for the storylines. We do to integrate it into the matches themselves because the matches help tell the storyline also and further the story. But it reminds me of that episode of South Park where Cartman and the guys start their wrestling organization and it's all promos. No wrestling, whatever, and they make fun of the WWE. It's kind of like that. We don't watch wrestling for the promos only. We don't watch them for the storylines only. We watch them for the action. So I think they need to change. I think they need to stop this whole counseling thing. I wish they'd have a match at Extreme Rules. Looks like it's going to probably end, or at least lead to a match at SummerSlam. I hope that's something they are looking to do. Let's all just pray for that, please. The next thing on the list is something that we've seen a lot in the Teddy Long GM era of SmackDown and in wrestling in general, is the constant need or the constant feel to turn a singles match into a tag team match to build some suspense and to carry on a match longer. Honestly, I'd rather see this past week on SmackDown. It was AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura. Rusev interfered. Jeff Hardy made the save, and they made a tag match. I would have rather have seen it from the get-go. AJ and Jeff Hardy, which Jeff Hardy's limping, and I'll get into the predictions. I probably think he's going to lose. I think he needs some time to heal. But a tag match, from the get-go, with them two facing Rusev and Shinsuke would have been a lot better. Give us some more time, to tell a story. Just don't ever. I feel like almost every singles match gets turned into a tag team match. Paige just might as well change her name to Teddy Long. She might have a play every time she comes out, Then doing his old stick, because that's basically how it turns out on Raw and SmackDown. I don't know if it's lackadaisical writing or if it's just people just trying to get off the same formula. Just change it, please. If you want a match to end in a tag match, just make it a flippin' tag match to begin with. Save us all the time and the energy, and we will be happier for it. That's pretty much all I got for that one. I mean, again, I don't like singles matches, and it was a good match. It was a decent match. If you want to have an interference to progress some storylines, then I can understand that. But to turn into a flippin' tag match for the 19th millionth flippin' time is utterly ridiculous, and it's lazy writing. I hope they get better. Next thing on the list is, the same old stick with this people like Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns coming out, doing the same promo, talking the same spiel, week in and week out to progress storylines when it doesn't work. A lot of, when I grew up watching wrestling, even in the Attitude Era more, if you haven't seen a wrestler on TV for a while, or you haven't seen them, actually in competition or whatever, and you want to progress the storyline, you would put, like, say, Rock facing Austin. Austin beat it in a singles match. And then Rock can come out to get him and attack that. It would be disqualification, and the Rock would beat up Austin, and that would be it. And then the next week, Austin would retaliate. Seeing physical action again is a lot better than just seeing promo after promo after promo. Let's face it, there's only a handful of guys in the WWE right now that can deliver a good, honest, heartfelt, believable storyline and can do it week in and week out. This goes back to my video last time about scripted promos. Ditch the scripted promos. Quit doing the same promo every week. Quit hitting the same point. The Rock would hit the same points week in and week out to further a feud. But damn it, if he didn't make it different, or make it sound different every time. Paul Heyman is a god right now when it comes to promos. Even though we hardly see him and Brock, which is something I'll get to in another video. But more action. There's so many ways. Let's put, Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns. Put Roman Reigns against some I don't know, somebody, let's see, who can we put him against? Let's just say Rusev. I don't care. Just Rusev for this example. You can have him come in and attack, or put Bobby versus Rusev. That way, Roman's boot anyways. They might as well turn that dude heel. I don't see why they haven't. Vince's wet dream to get him over is this is not working. So, or you could put him in a tag team match. Let's say Bobby Lashley and AJ. Yeah, Bobby Lashley and no, it's on Raw, isn't it? Okay, sorry. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. My brain works faster than my mouth does sometimes, and sometimes vice versa. So let's throw Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman against Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. And have every time either Lashley tags in, Roman tags out. Do not let them touch each other. Build that suspense. You got to beat down at the end of the match if you want, which is kind of hard to do because neither one of the guys are clear-cut heel or clear-cut good guy. You know, we all boo Roman because we're tired of him being shoved down our throats. But at the same time, Bobby Lashley is one of the most boringest, emotionless, you know, I say sack of potatoes because, again, listen, everything he says is monotone. You can't tell the man's happy, angry, sad, whatever. So on top of, just build this feud, that's why I love to split brand pay-per-views, because when you have 2 months to build a storyline leading to a pay-per-view match, even if you're going to continue that storyline after that pay-per-view, you still had 2 months, for SmackDown to be 16 hours of TV time to build a pay-per-view or build a storyline going into a match. And on Raw, of course, it's an abysmal, good night, nurse. What, 24 hours? It's practically a whole day, of TV time to build a feud properly. Not the same old 1 + 2 = 3. Let's not call our numbers here, folks. Let's not grab our attention. Innovative, thinking outside the box. Good promos from the heart that are believable. That's the word. Believability in a sport we all know is not real. It's scripted. Yes, we understand that. I'm a major advocate for the fact that it's not fake, because they do really get hurt. They are really naturally talented athletes, all of them. If you think you have what it takes to be a wrestler, just watch anybody's workout routine and then try to match it for 5 minutes. You won't do it. They are real athletes, and I will advocate that till the end of time. But believability. We get sucked, like I've said it before, sucked into movies and into TV shows because they make it believable. Okay, that could happen. So, without believability, what is there? Believability, conviction, that's stuff you need. So, that's really all I'm asking for here. I don't think it's really all that much. Next thing is matches with I won't say stupid, inconsequential stipulations or gimmicks, stuff that doesn't make the match any better. Best example was this past week, Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins. No, sorry, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. And if Seth won, then Drew's banned from ringside at the IC title match at Extreme Rules. But if he wins, he could be at ringside. That to me makes 0 sense. Because as we've seen, the last IC title match, Drew interfered anyway. So what happens when a wrestler comes down to the ring that's barred from ringside? The wrestler he's representing gets disqualified. And what happens in the title match with disqualification unless it's otherwise stated? Champion retains. So, Drew was, let's say, banned from ringside. Dolph gets in trouble. Drew runs out. He's banned. Disqualification. Bam. Seth wins. Dolph retains the title. It's an inconsequential stipulation. Now, if you want to do something better, you could have done, okay, if Seth had won the match, then if Dolph gets disqualified, he loses the title. You know, Dolph does anything other than win by pin or submission, he loses the title. That gives a little more line of, ooh, what can he do to get out of this? We know he's a sneaky heel and he can't defeat Seth. And what can he do? That's called investment. And the better your investment into a storyline or even to a match, the more people will catch on, the better the outcome will be for everybody. The people in the match, the people backstage, and the fans. The next one I will get more into the predictions, believe me. But the god-awful shark cage stipulation that just got put on with the Carmella versus Asuka for the women's title. Within the last time with Enzo Amore. You can cheat in a shark cage. This is the bars. You can slip out. You can drop things from the ceiling. You can, a few other things you could do. It doesn't really do anything. It just barely hinders the person in the cage. I don't understand it. You could have done. You could have handcuffed Jimmy Ellsworth to the ring post. You could have made him. I barred from ringside because I talked about how that was stupid. You could have put him in the match. Hell, make it a 2-on-1 handicap match. Make it interesting. You know he's going to be interfering anyway, so just put him in the damn match. Give us another reason to root for Asuka even more. That's all I got to say about that. Just think about your stipulations and make them make sense. Make them logical. Make them believable. Make sure we feel like the person who is fighting for or against the stipulation is fighting for a reason. Again, if Drew is banned from ringside, who cares? The worst thing that's going to happen is Drew gets disqualified. Or Ziggler gets disqualified. Keeps the title. So banning him from ringside does zilch. I need to think they can step up the game. When it comes to these matches, step up your writing. Or get new writers. Better writers. And finally, this is actually part of the one I think is the biggest problem with the WWE current product today, is they put quantity over quality. Yeah, they have a few quality matches and pay-per-views and stuff, but with the links of pay-per-views seemingly going ungodly to the point where I believe one day they might be 24 hours a flipping day, if you give us 12 matches, there's a few you could lose. We're not going to hurt anything. We're not going to lose anything. Like to come up B-Team versus the Deleters of Worlds. I get into more about in the predictions video, but come on, you could have had that on at Raw or the last pay-per-view. You don't need 12 matches that only can go less than 20 minutes, and expect us to go on a ride. Some of my favorite matches have been hour-plus long matches. Rumbles, Bret Hart versus Shawn. That's my all-time favorite match. I love that match to death. I was not even a teenager yet when I watched that match for the first time. John Cena and Shawn Michaels wrestling for over an hour. Those matches had. Granted, you can't do an hour-long match. I get it on a pay-per-view. That's really you could with a 5-hour pay-per-view. You really could. But on a TV show, especially if it was like say a SmackDown was only 2 hours, you couldn't have an hour of the program to further anything else. But let's face it, half the time, almost 3/4 of the time, they don't have anything progressing in storylines either. That's why I think a lot of these matches come Sunday are going to be to end storylines to start to push for SummerSlam. Because God forbid a good storyline lasts for a couple of pay-per-views. I remember growing up, we didn't have any storylines and stuff. It was mostly just guys wrestling each other, but feuds have continued for months, if not years. One of my favorite of my childhood was the Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. They built that up slowly with Miss Elizabeth in the middle, and it's a feud that, basically, let's face it, lasted up until Macho Man's passing. So, but that became a personal thing, not a professional beef. So, but come on, let's just I would rather see 5 solid 15 to 25-minute match. Perfect. 25 minutes, an hour and a quarter. You throw some other crap in there. Maybe throw in a few matches, you get guys over, like some squash matches or matches that to get people on the card. I understand people gotta get paid. I understand they're trying to throw all these matches out there to try to get as many people out there. Not only so we as fans can see our favorites, the ones we like, the ones we dislike, but see people we don't get to see that often. But I would rather see, like say, I think Limit or Extreme Rules has, I want to say, 11 matches. Even if you did that, let's do the math real quick. 20 minutes each. It's 220 minutes. That's what, 5 hours? 5 hours and like 40 minutes, give or take. I think. I don't know. If I'm wrong, let me know. Yeah, and that pay per view is going to be about that long anyway. At least 4 or 5 hours. Okay, so not every match will be 20 minutes. But if you knock that down to say 8 matches, it's 160 minutes. That's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Interview segments run a little over 3 hours. Everybody can be happy. Just make the matches a little bit longer, a little more exciting. Build. Don't just throw matches and use crappy excuses like Constable Corbin versus Finn because he's a big guy and he's a short guy. We just went through that with Enzo Amore, or not Enzo Amore, sorry, Daniel Bryan and Big Cass. That's bull. It's ignorance. Size shouldn't matter. I know what you're thinking. No, I mean, when it comes to wrestlers, you shouldn't pick on the basis to pick on a wrestler is because he's shorter than you. Really? No. I'm trying to think. I mean, let's do this. You guys in the comments below, let me know what your favorite storylines or favorite feuds, if you will, have been in, let's say, the past 5 years. I think mine would have to go with Daniel Bryan and Triple H on his road to WrestleMania, to Daniel Bryan finally capturing the title, proving he wasn't a B-plus player. That one took a long time to manifest. And it actually showed what kind of person and what kind of work rate Daniel Bryan has. So, again, the theme of this one is investment. Believability and investment. Because again, it's like a movie. You're going to drag us through the sludge for 4 hours? At least you can do. The bare minimum you could do is entertain us. Make it worth our while. So, with that said, until next time, I will see you guys tomorrow. Well, no, today is Thursday. So, Friday or Saturday, I will be putting up my predictions video for Sunday's Extreme Rules. So, I will see you then.